I'm going to walk you through making the lasagna roll-ups with the recipe that you have in front of you. I'm going to first start with the step that's not even on here, and that's boiling your noodles. So the very first thing you want to do when you come into class is start your pot of water halfway, or with half about full of water, and get that boiling, and put your 9 or 10 lasagna noodles in. These noodles have already been pre-cooked, so they're about done. So what I will do next, once they're done, is just drain them in your sink using a colander. So once they are done, we're going to go ahead and drain them. While your noodles are baking or boiling, what you can be doing is doing that very first step by measuring all those ingredients in your large mixing bowl and mix them together. So there's a lot of ingredients: your cottage cheese, your ground beef, spinach, egg, garlic powder, and Italian seasoning. I have all those ingredients set here that I'm going to measure and mix together. So the very first ingredient, or cottage cheese, comes in a container like this. And it says I need 3/4 of a cup. So 3/4 cup, I'll use my 1/4. And you can level it all in there. Whoops. It's alright, make a mess, that's alright. We'll clean it up later. So get your 1/4 in there, and then I'll do my extra half. 1/2 and 1/4 for your 3/4. That's about right. So get your ricotta cheese in. Alright. Next ingredient was cottage cheese, and I need 1/2 cup of cottage cheese. Have my 1/2 cup ready. Again, if you make a mess, we can clean it up later. Woo, I'm really making a mess. 1/2 cup. Level it off. Ground beef. Your ground beef will already be pre-cooked, so all you need to do is just get your another 1/2 cup. 1/2 cup of ground beef. I'll just shake to about level it. That's good enough. 1/2 cup of ground beef. I'll go ahead and wipe my counter here. Get more clean space. Alright, chopped spinach is next. 1 cup of chopped spinach. Since you're going to chop the spinach, you'll need a cutting board and one of your sharp knives. I'll put about a cup in first of spinach into my 1 cup. Just kind of smush it in there. Just so you have about a 1 cup of spinach. That's about good enough. And then we're going to chop that up and then add it to your bowl. So nothing fancy to this. I kind of just pile it together and just make your sliced chops of spinach. If you want to do a couple at a time, you can. Chop up that spinach into smaller pieces. That'd be fine. Some students like to just rip it apart, and you can surely do that as well. I'll go ahead and add that in. The spinach adds a nice look for color. Can't really taste it, but you surely will see the color in your lasagna roll-ups. Alright, next ingredient is egg. 1 egg. Remember, you crack your egg in a smaller bowl first. Once it's okay, no shells, then add that in. And then we need your garlic powder. Garlic powder is in a container like this, garlic powder. We'll need a 1/2 teaspoon. So 1/2 teaspoon, just take the lid off. Level it off with some shakes, pour that in there. 2 teaspoons. 2 teaspoons of Italian seasoning. Got another spice container. 2 teaspoons. And I'll just measure it this way. It's about 1, 2. 2 teaspoons. Adds a great flavor, your garlic powder and Italian seasoning. Alright, so far I've measured and mixed all my ingredients for step number 1. Let me go ahead and mix that together well. I'll use a rubber scraper to get all those ingredients, the cheeses, the spinach, the ground beef, all mixed in well, and the egg as well. And this will be your filling for your lasagna roll-ups. It will taste delicious. Again, the spinach adds nice color to your roll-ups. All right, next step, step number 2. We're going to spread approximately 1/4 cup of spaghetti sauce on the bottom of an 8x8 pan. You will use 2 8x8 pans, or you will use one larger pan, okay? If we're using the 8x8 pan, we're going to put 1/4 cup on the bottom of each. So I have my 1.5 cups. I'm going to just estimate about 1/4 out and put them in each. That way you should have about 1 cup left to top your lasagna roll-ups at the end. So the purpose of doing this, I'm just going to spread this here. The purpose of doing this is so your noodles and roll-ups do not stick to the bottom and you can easily take them off. So just give it a good shake to get the sauce nicely on the bottom. I'll put those to the side. Alright, step number 3. We're going to lay the lasagna noodles that have already been cooked on a noodles flat and divide the lasagna filling on all of those noodles. So I'll make some room over here. Remember, your noodles have already been pre-cooked. You did that at the beginning. We're going to lay them out. They should be cool now. Well, they might stick a little bit, but lay them on your flat surface. I've already cleaned my counter. Lay all your 9 to 10 noodles out. Ooh, that one's still a little warm. Alright, now we're ready to fill each noodle. So this way I'll just take a spoon and I want to divide it equally first. So I'll place a little bit on every noodle into 9 equal parts, or 10 equal parts if you have 10 noodles. Oh, I can smell it. It smells delicious. So use all your filling. Go back if you need to and put some more in for some of the smaller ones. There, almost have it. Ooh, it smells and it's going to look delicious in the end. What I like to do is use a knife to just spread them flat, to fill all your noodles flat with the lasagna filling. Just like so. Once you have them all filled out, laid out, you just take your noodle and roll it up like so. We'll do the next one. They look pretty that way. Beautiful. Then when you're ready, you just take your pan that you put the sauce on, make sure the ends are down, place it on top of the sauce, keep a little space in between, it'll be easier to take out. Roll them up, put it right in. Then to finish it off, step 6 said spread remaining spaghetti sauce on top of each roll, and then we'll top it with the mozzarella cheese. So we'll take my remaining pasta sauce, just kind of layer and spread it on top, or pour it on top. Gonna make it look really pretty. And then we'll sprinkle your mozzarella cheese right on top. A nice finishing touch. Since we won't be serving these right away, we'll put foil on top, put your kitchen color and class period, We'll refrigerate them and they'll be ready to bake on the day of your guest meal. Lovely, wonderful, delicious.